Now here's something I never expected to see out of LEGO Star Wars, and yet here we are, reviewing a buildable Chewbacca. Star Wars characters turned into large-sized models isn't a new concept for the theme, looking at the R2-D2 or BD-1 as examples. But these are droids and therefore easier to achieve as a LEGO build due to the square nature of the brick system. In recent years, Yoda and Grogu with large heads that made detailing and expressions easier, robes that didn't require that big of an effort to pull off, were also made into products. Now to think that LEGO Star Wars would go up a notch and try to pull off an organic and furry creature out of bricks, and in my opinion being somewhat successful in doing so, is mind-blowing to me. For example, at the base, which doesn't have that much to talk about other than being black with a few light grey details in the back, the way the brick-built fur spreads around the feet just a little is really cool, and under all of that you can see Chewie's toes or claws. At the arms you can also see the long fur just hanging on both of the forearms, which again makes the furriness that more believable, and for the rest of the body, insane amounts of a few different shapes of slopes in brown and dark brown complete the figure. Is it perfect? Probably not, but I can think of better ways to do a furry creature out of plastic bricks, so kudos to the design team. The head is another highlight in its own right, probably my favorite part of the whole build due to all of the building techniques required to achieve the end result. I feel the eyes that feature round exclusive 1x1 printed tiles are way too deep into the build, but the nose and mouth section are great, especially with those teeth made out of lipstick elements recolored in white. You can even see the dark red tongue in there. He also carries his brick-built bandolier and satchel that isn't attached to the build in any way, it's just standing there wrapped around the neck, but that works just fine. And finally the Wookiee bowcaster, this time around built into the build with no option to remove it. Kind of nice to see a different color in the model rather than just tones of brown. And this strap is a cloth-like LEGO element that, according to the instruction booklet, is the exact same one featured in the LEGO Ideas typewriter set, this time around recolored in dark tan. This is clearly a display model, and aside from the head that allows for some degree of movement to pose it as you see fit, the rest of the build is completely locked in place, meaning you can't pose it at all. There's a workaround for the arms though. If you disconnect the small ball joints that keep them close to the body, you can move them around just a little, but that exposes the ball joints and cups, so there's that. The build process wasn't the most exciting thing ever, not gonna lie. Placing down hundreds of slopes in a similar manner over and over again, especially at the start of the build, in the legs where after the main core was built, you're then tasked of making 16 panels to cover it up from all sides. Wasn't fun, yet somehow I was still entertained through the whole task. Especially after the legs were done, there was a lot more variety in the kinds of builds done until the end. This set also includes an info plaque for Chewbacca, this time around printed, which is a major upgrade when compared to what was previously done with Star Wars character-based builds that had stickers. And there's also a very common and non-exclusive minifigure of the character, complete with the bowcaster that shoots studs. Priced at $200 and having little over 2,300 pieces, this set is the best LEGO Star Wars deal you can find as far as the price per piece ratio goes. Admittedly, there's lots of small elements, especially with all of the slopes that were used for the fur of the Wookiee, but still, this set has one minifigure, no stickers at all, exclusive prints and a cloth element that must have been costly to produce, so that's a win for me. When I saw the reveal of the model, I was like, hell no, but the more I look at it, and the more I think how big of a gamble and challenge this must have been for the Star Wars design team, the more I like it. Now I'm kinda guessing the community will be split on this model, those who like it and those who hate it, but hey, do we really need more flimsy and overpriced X-Wings, helmets and giant grey dust magnets? And imagine what this set can do for the theme if LEGO Star Wars decides to pursue this scale and make a buildable Darth Vader, Clone Troopers or the Mandalorian. They just made a very decent furry Wookiee, so they most certainly will be able to pull those off as well.